Welcome back and welcome to Module 3. You're making great progress. Module 3, key number 3 is exposure. We have to be exposed to more. If we want to maximize our lives, which I know you do because you're in this course, you're becoming a maximizer because you want to go to another level. We have to get exposure. Someone once said, good leaders have experience. Great leaders have exposure. Oh man, let me repeat that. Good leaders have experience. Experience is good. We're not saying it isn't. But great leaders have exposure. I would say great leaders get exposure. As a matter of fact, I don't think any of us can be great unless we are exposed. How would we know what exists? How would we know what's out there, what's available if we don't get exposed? So remember, nothing grows in a comfort zone. To get exposure, we're going to have to get out of our comfort zone. I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, and thank you for your service to all those veterans who are in our class. And my first duty station was Okinawa, Japan. Now, you have to understand this. Puerto Rican, grew up in New York, never left the United States of America. And now here I am volunteering. I was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Excuse me, Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I remember the staff sergeant said, who would like to go overseas? And I just threw my hand up without thinking twice. And I'm like, what did you just do? They're like, all right, you three, you're going to Okinawa, Japan. I'm like, wait, what? Us, me? Like, yeah, Rios, you put your hand up. I'm like, oh, man. Anyways, we ended up going to Okinawa, Japan. When we got to Okinawa, Japan, I remember flying from New York to LAX in Los Angeles and then going all the way to Japan. In our first month, they put us in a class. I think it was called acclimation class or something like that. It was a course like this. And they were teaching us all the do's and don'ts. All of the things that we thought were okay as Americans were no longer okay in that society. And that's why exposure is amazing. That's why in module 2, we talked about curiosity and discovery, because we can never maximize who we are, our gifts and talents in this world, unless we learn new things, unless we become the best versions of ourselves, right? And so we're in this class, and I remember they said, hey, in the US, it's okay to call people, hey, Johnny, come here. Hey, Susie. Hey, Stephanie, ven para acá. But in Okinawa, Japan, you can't do that. If you call people like this, that's like saying that they are a dog. You have to call people over like this, even, if you want to use a hand signal. And I'm like, wait a minute, like this, like this. I'm like, that's so strange. Why do they do that like that? And they ask the same question. In America, why do you do this? You only talk to dogs when you do this. So when we get exposed, we are vulnerable. We are vulnerable, and we are in a space that we don't know. It's a place of exploration, right? And that's what we're gonna need to do to maximize our lives. I remember going to Korea. I also went to Korea when I was in the Marine Corps, and I remember going to a restaurant, couldn't wait, and we had to take off our shoes at the door, and we had to sit on the floor, and it was so cool. We got to cook food ourselves. They brought us the meats, they brought us the different seasonings, and we just made it ourselves. And I thought, man, we need something like this in the US. Now, mind you, this is 20 plus years ago. I know that exists now, but back then it didn't. I'm bringing these experiences to you to tell you that there's so much for you to do, so much more for you to know, so much more for you to become. And we cannot, you cannot maximize your life unless you get exposure. Now, you're probably saying, Peter, were you scared? Yeah, of course I was scared. Yes, I was terrified. You're in a different country. You don't know what the signs mean when you're driving. In Korea, I was driving on the left side, not the right side. The steering wheel's on the other side of the car. I'm like, what is going on here? But you know what? Today, as I'm making this video in 2024, I have been able to experience so many cool and wonderful and amazing things all over the world. I broke out of my fishbowl. And you do too. Come on, you do too. We need to break out of that fishbowl mentality. You know what? That fishbowl mentality that we talked about in the previous module, it's hindering so many people from maximizing. It's hindering many countries from progressing. It's hindering many leaders from becoming the best that they could be and having the maximum impact and influence because they don't want to get exposed. They don't want to experience more. But you and me, we're different. So I want to leave you with 4 things in this module to help you kick charge, getting motivated to get the exposure you need. Number 1, think about your network. If I were to ask you to pull out your cell phone and look at all your contacts, who would they be? Most likely it's people who are just like you, probably from your same religion, probably from your same professional field, probably from your same culture. You get the point, right? Everybody is the same. So I want to challenge you in this module, right? That you would break out of your comfort zone. Remember the quote again, nothing grows in a comfort zone. And I want you to network, begin to network. Now I know if you're introverted or if you just never done this before, it's a big leap, right? You can get a partner, you can ask somebody to do it with you. But this module, I need you to start networking. Attend industry events. Maybe you want to go to an event that's not even in your field. For example, let's say you're a dentist. Well, maybe you need to go to a business conference, or maybe you're in business. So maybe you need to go to a technology conference, or maybe you're a clergy. You need to go to whatever conference. You see what I'm saying? You get my point, right? Attend conferences that are out of your comfort zone. Check out seminars. There are many free seminars online and in your city. And meet with professionals in your field and outside your field. Begin to network. Networking can open doors to new opportunities and new ideas. Who wants to go to Okinawa, Japan? I was like, me, right? And so I'm asking you here, who wants to explore and get exposed to something or someone new? It has to be you. And these are practical steps I'm giving you. I know this is not rocket science. Network, network, network. Okay. Number 2, join a club or an organization. You can join a nonprofit. Maybe you resonate with a nonprofit's mission and vision. You may want to join that nonprofit. You may want to become a board member. You may want to just volunteer at the nonprofit once a week, once a month. This will give you exposure. So join clubs, join organizations, online communities. Stand by because we're going to make a maximized community. So I hope you get ready for that. And join communities or clubs or organizations that have related or similar interests. But don't limit yourselves. Don't limit yourself to what you know or your hobbies. Dare to think bigger, to be greater. These groups often provide exposure to like-minded individuals and events. You want to do it. Number 3, you want to volunteer. I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. Look for an organization that you can align with. Make sure that the values, right? Even if it's out of your field, it could be out of your town, but make sure that you align with their values. That's super important. Volunteering can introduce you to new people and experiences. Again, you're getting out of your comfort zone. So I hope you didn't think you were going to maximize by staying home. I hope you didn't think because this is an asynchronous online course that you were going to stay home. No. We're putting all of this knowledge and wisdom to practice, all right? And number 4, this is probably the best way for you to get exposure, is to travel to new places. Travel to new places, whether locally or internationally. Now, I know that some of you probably can't travel right now internationally. You have an elderly parent at home, or maybe you have some health complications. Maybe, there's folks here with certain disabilities or diverse abilities. I get it. It's okay. But on your level, what can you do? Can you go down the street and meet a new person? Can you, instead of going to the supermarket that's in your town, can you go to a supermarket that's in the next town over? When was the last time you visited a city, a different city, not the one you live in? You see what I'm saying, right? Make a plan by yourself, with a friend, with a colleague, with a partner, with your spouse, with your kids, with your neighbors, whoever. It's time to travel. It's time to get exposure. Now, listen to this. For those of you who can travel, for those of you who are ready to take your exposure to another level, I need you to get your passports. Now, maybe you have your passport. Great. You're ahead of the curve. You know how many people don't have a passport? I need you. Yes, you. Wait, where are you at? Right here. I need you to get your passport. Get it. It's time. I know some of you have been feeling that in your spirit and your mind, and you've just been scared. No, get your passport, because you can't travel without it. But once you get your passport, the floodgates are going to open. Opportunities are going to come. I'm telling you, that's the way it works. You got to get in motion, right? You got to start walking, right? I remember Martin Luther King said that faith was taking a step and watching the staircase develop in front of you. In other words, you don't see the staircase, but as soon as you start walking, the staircase begins to develop in front of you. That's us here today. We're going to get exposure. In your pursuit to further exposure, like Maya Angelou said, you may encounter defeat, but you are never defeated. You're going to want to give up, but continue to maximize your life. You are entitled to having your best life. All right. Here's your homework assignment. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? In this module, I need you, if you're not on social media already, to join social media. That's right. Welcome to the 21st century. If you're not on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, there's so many others. I want you to start. Start with one. If you already have one, start another one. This is your way to get to expose yourself, to expose who you are. People need to know who you are. You're tremendously gifted. You are special. You have greatness within you. You are destined for greatness. And people need to know that. People need to find that out about you. So one way of getting exposure is actually exposing. Now, I don't mean take on, exposing. I just mean like you're going to show the world who you are. Okay? All right. And get your map out. Get your master action plan out. What's the 1 or 2 action items you're going to put in place so that you can start getting the exposure you need to maximize your life? I'll see you in the next module.